Good morning. My name is Brian Canal. I teach social studies at Newton High School, and welcome to the presentation on the Individual Plan of Study, or IPS and Naviance, specifically for freshman parents. So the purpose of this session is to introduce and explain to parents how Naviance supports the development of the Individual Plan of Study. So the questions that this presentation will answer are listed there. What is the IPS? What is Naviance? How do parents log on and access their students' Naviance? When and how will students be using Naviance? And then finally, what are the important parts of Naviance for the freshman year? So that first one, what is the IPS, or the Individual Plan of Study? So broadly speaking, it's a process for assessing students in discovering their strengths and interests, creating a plan to meet graduation requirements, as well as possible certifications and goals for their post-high school journey. So a little more specific, so it's a process because it goes through all 4 years for exploring both courses students choose, and then also career interests throughout high school to help students find a productive career that they will enjoy. So it's not about choosing a career their freshman year and then sticking with that career. It's about exploring possible careers, and that exploration will help students end up choosing a career after high school that is both productive and that they will enjoy. There's a link there from the Kansas State Department of Education to a video. You can click the link on the accompanying Google Slides and it'll take you to that link, and it gives more specifics about the Individual Plan of Study. So freshman and sophomore years, what does the IPS look like? The freshman year, the student works on updating the IPS. They've started doing this in middle school, and so they may change classes in their 4-year plan. They may add and change possible career areas. They create a course plan mapped to interest areas. The parent-teacher conferences are both student-led and then focused on this IPS process. And then the Naviance components, I'll explain in a little bit. It includes the Strengths Explorer and adding to the career clusters list. The sophomore items are listed there. I won't go into those and identify each of them because this is focused on the freshman year. But I did want to just be sure and list those for you. And you can see how it both grows upon updating the IPS and the course map, but then also adds some things like the resume and the digital portfolio. And then this slide lists the junior and senior years, and again you can see it both builds upon the previous years with updating the IPS and the course plan, but then adds some things like taking the ACT and the work keys task, and then Naviance is a part of that, both the junior and senior year as well. You can see the senior year there is more about finalizing the process, and then Naviance is also a real good tool for college and post-secondary exploration and scholarship opportunities as well. So the Naviance is a neat tool that is helpful throughout the high school career for students. So speaking toward Naviance specifically, so it's a tool to assist students and parents in discovering individual strengths and interests and connect these to class choices, career ideas, and post-high school plans. So we speak of it as a tool, but what it is specifically is a website, and then a website with all these resources for students to work through. It included another link to a video, this one done by Naviance, that goes more specifically into what Naviance is and how students can use Naviance and the types of resources it has for students. Parents can also get access to Naviance. We encourage parents to get a login, and it allows them to observe and see what it is that their students are working on and identifying. It's an observer status for parents. We've included a link there that gives directions for how to create the parent account, and we encourage you to get on and create that account so that you can see what your students are working on. This is I included a screenshot of the home page on this slide. This is the default page that Naviance opens up to, and wanted to highlight in the right-hand corner the tabs that are there. Those tabs are the kind of the go-to for students. It's where students will access much of the work and resources that Naviance has. I recognize you can't read those, they're not really big enough, but wanted to highlight them for you. The other thing on the home page is toward the bottom, there is an update section that includes student opportunities for things like community service and summer programs, as well as college visits and other activities too. So those are two good things to be familiar with as an introduction as you're just getting started in Naviance. So in those tabs to the upper right, one of the tabs is an About Me tab, and the links there, I've listed the 4 links that are a part of the About Me tab, and these again are where students spend much of their time in Naviance. So you can see the first link there, My Stuff. This includes the resources that students will be working with, like the resume and the portfolio. The My Assessments tab is pretty descriptive. This is where students go to access the assessments. The My Surveys, again, is pretty descriptive. This is where students go to access the student surveys they'll be working on. And then post-secondary plans, this is used more their junior and senior year when they start exploring the colleges and technical schools and opportunities they have after high school. And finally, the freshman year in Naviance, there are 2 focuses that students work with. One is the Strengths Explorer, and this is an assessment that students take that identifies talent areas. It identifies 3 talent themes or 3 talent areas for students. It takes about 20 minutes. It's a collection of questions for students to answer, and then it identifies those 3 areas, explains those talent themes and ways in which the student can grow those talent themes, and then in addition it identifies the career paths that are related to those talent themes. So it's an assessment that allows students to both explore their own characteristics and then connect those to careers. And so it's not that the assessment tells the student what career they should take, it's much more that the assessment identifies careers that the student can then spend time exploring to see if they're interested in those careers and to see if those careers would be a good fit. And then the second one are career clusters. Students have started these in middle school, and then they add to these in high school. So the career clusters help students learn what career clusters may be a good match, and it's based upon the students' activities that they enjoy, their personal qualities, and subjects that they enjoy in school. And so again, it's that exploration part. That finishes the presentation. We appreciate you taking the time to listen. If you have questions, 2 resources are, one is your student's seminar teacher. They will be a good resource to answer questions and expand, and you'll be meeting with them during the parent-teacher conferences with your student. And then the other one is the guidance counselor, your student's guidance counselor. They have expertise in this and are also an excellent resource. So again, thank you for taking the time to listen to this, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Bye-bye.